They say there once was a boy who mistook silence for strength, and learned too late that silence can also mean surrender. It's an old story, whispered by elders when the sky turns ember red. A story for those who have carried pain so long that they've begun to call it peace. In a small valley where mist lingered long after dawn, there lived a boy named Kavi. He was neither loud nor brave. He spoke softly, worked hard, and smiled when spoken to, but beneath that smile was a bruise that never healed. When Kavi was 10, a storm took his father, and with him, every word the boy wished he had said. Since that night, Kavi spoke little. He believed that if he stayed quiet, he could keep the world from breaking again. So he lived as though invisible, walking softly, breathing gently, afraid even of his own voice. The villagers praised him for being calm. They said, "The boy is strong. He endures." But they did not see that he wasn't enduring. He was disappearing. Years passed like leaves falling unnoticed. Kavi grew tall, but his heart remained the size of a wounded child. He worked at the potter's hut, shaping clay into bowls and lamps, things meant to hold light. Yet his hands, steady and skillful, never made one for himself. Each night he returned to an empty house. He lit a single candle, watched it tremble, and whispered, "Maybe tomorrow." But tomorrow always came too quietly and left too soon. One winter evening, as fog curled through the trees, Kavi met an old traveler by the river's bend. The man's robe was torn, his feet blistered, but his eyes carried the calm of someone who had walked through storms and lived to see dawn. He watched Kavi working by the water, shaping another lamp from red clay. "Why do you make so many?" the old man asked. "If you never light them?" Kavi looked away. "They're for others," he said. "Not for me." The man smiled faintly. "Ah. And do you think light belongs only to those who aren't hurting?" Kavi said nothing. His fingers kept molding the clay, but something inside him began to crack with it. The old man continued, "Pain that is never given a purpose becomes a prison. But pain that is shaped like clay can become a lamp for others who have lost their way." Before Kavi could reply, the man stood, dipped his hand into the river, and let the water fall through his fingers. "Remember," he said, "the river keeps moving even when it's carrying grief." Then he vanished into the fog. That night, Kavi returned home to find the wind had broken his door latch. The candle he always lit had fallen, wax spilled like tears on the floor. He knelt to gather the pieces, and for the first time, he did not whisper, "Maybe tomorrow." He whispered, "Now." He took one of the lamps he had made for others, a small, imperfect one with a crack along the rim, and set it before him. His hands trembled as he lit it. The flame flickered weakly, then steadied, and in that trembling light, the boy who had hidden from life finally saw the truth. He hadn't been protecting himself from pain. He had been protecting his pain from being seen. From that night on, Kavi began to shape his clay differently. Each lamp he made carried a mark, a small line where he had once been broken too. He began to teach the village children to mold the clay, to tell stories while their hands worked. The quiet boy who once feared his own voice now helped others find theirs. And in his workshop, light no longer waited for permission to begin. It burned, softly, bravely, purposefully. They say the flame that once burned you can also be the light that guides you home, if you have the courage to hold it again. And perhaps, somewhere in your own waiting, this truth is knocking too. Maybe you've carried a silence so long, it has begun to feel like safety. Maybe you've shaped your pain into something heavy, instead of something that can shine. But listen closely. The river still moves. The clay is still soft. The flame still waits for your trembling hand. So before the night falls, ask yourself, what light have you left unlit? What pain are you still guarding, when it could be the very gift you were meant to give the world? Because the heart that waits for perfect peace may never find peace at all. If this story found you at the right time, like the video, don't hurry away. Sit with it a little longer. Subscribe while your heart is still listening. And if it left a spark inside you, share that spark with someone before it fades.